Have you ever wondered, what actually is tantric sex?
I think it's something to do with combining sex with yoga or meditation.
It's not about the physical, but it's about the intimacy.
Isn't it like when you have sex and you just stay in the same position for a really long time?
I don't know what the word means, I don't understand, I don't know.
I think it's when two people have sex with their minds. Can you elaborate?
Isn't it when you... Wait, say
I think there's probably a bit more to it than that. In this week's episode of Sex Ed, I spoke to experts in the tantric field to find out what really is tantric sex.
Over time, at the beginning, it was seen very much as a way for women to reach goddess status through lovemaking, through orgasms, actually, and the same for men. But when I came across it, it was at a time when we had Neo-Tantra, because that's what I teach. Neo-Tantra evolved, came to life in the 70s, and it's an adapted version for modern Western couples. But, for example, when you say what is Tantra lovemaking, it could be a very beautiful kissing session. It could be just that you're sitting on the sofa together and you are, just touching each other, just teasing each other. Just, all you're doing is you're keeping a fire alight. Because if I say sex to you, immediately you're seeing a penis going into a vagina, aren't you? Well, no, that's not what it is. It's a sacred energy exchange. So how many ways can you sacredly exchange any energy? So many ways. Kissing, touching, hugging, kindness, many ways.
So it really comes under the umbrella of Neo-Tantra, which has developed with a mix of sex therapy, free love, and spiritual tantric approaches to form a kind of standalone modality that is not really all about, the ancient Indian tantric ways, but more focused on sex. I think tantric sex is incredibly beneficial for our mental health because, firstly, with tantric sex, we remove the need for it to be goal focused. And whenever we put goals into any area of our lives, we feel ourselves pressured to achieve them. In Tantra, we remove any kind of goal to get to orgasm. The focus is just the presence, the experience, and the pleasure. And actually, what happens is perfect in the moment. And there's this kind of raw vulnerability around who we each truly are. And it changes sex. That regular linear sex can be so mechanical, so robotic, whereas Tantra can be so fluid, so sensual, so connected. To my mind, I don't see why it's like not the standard. Any area of your body, if touched in the right way, can bring you pleasure. And if you think of pleasure like a spark and the breath as the way of stoking the spark into a fire, and then your focus and intention as a way of growing that fire into, a massive big bonfire, that's what you're doing. And I recommend that everybody practices masturbation, tantric masturbation, if they're interested in tantric sex, because it starts with us. We can't cultivate that presence unless we know how to cultivate it with ourselves. It's really just about the attitude and the approach, and the sense that in this moment, I am spending time with, my desired person. I'm spending time with you, and we are fully connected with each other and present with each other. And actually, we're honoring each other very intimately in this space. And if you can cultivate that attitude, you are beginning to have tantric sex.
While some of our wild theories on what tantric sex is might actually be true, it essentially comes down to having sex in an intentional and mindful way. Something that we can all benefit from.